you were on, I think the first time talking about your children's book.
Yes.
That you were inspired by your little girl to create. And now you have version 2.0 of
Yes.
this Zara story, little Princess Zara. Please tell us about it.
So I had a lot of people share with me, well, where's the prince, right? Like, where's the representation for the boys? So literally we are introducing Prince Jabari. Yes, honey. And he is the fearless one. He is her cousin. So Princess Zara's cousin. So the reason why I even created this book, for those who don't remember, my child was having her 3rd birthday and we couldn't find any Black princess anything. So it's led me on this mission. I'm a mom on a mission. Big picture is to have a mainstream cartoon. But right now we are releasing books so that children can see themselves, and other children can see our children as royalty. So the 2nd book coming out, it's now on pre-order, is Princess Zara and the Royal Festival. And it's all around role models who we look up to, and really being able to do that in a way where the people closest to you are some of the best role models.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As we were talking before you got here, the bar has, in my opinion, has dropped dramatically in terms of what our expectations are. So we accept a lot of things. I like that, going through Zara and recently, we were talking about Eddie Murphy being forced to put Louis Anderson. Well, actually, they were forcing him to put a white comedian into Coming to America, the original.
The first one.
Spoiler alert: Louis Anderson is in this one too, but they were forced them to pick a white person because they couldn't imagine an all-Black cast, and they didn't want to leave white people out because white folk need to have representation everywhere, even in an all-Black African environment. So, were you forced? Were you forced to do the same thing, Coach Cass?
So, you know what? I did think about the diversity in this book. So the designer, she's a little Hispanic looking, she got a little mole over her lip. I wanted people to feel included. So the royal designer that is creating their costumes for the festival, she's okay. Hispanic. She is, I was trying to get a little something in there because, everybody kind of looks for themselves. So the main characters, yes, are Black, but I got a little something in there for everybody. Well, not everybody. Let me not say that. There is not something in there for everybody, but it's still a good book. It's still a good read.
And that's okay. The point I'm making is that's okay. Yeah. Because you created the world you want your daughter to appreciate, right? And the world that she's in, it's enough already to have to, go through, am I pretty enough? Am I good enough? Am I, if you're going to create a world, you at least want to create a world of perfection for your own child. So right. I applaud that. And I thank you for it. All right. Lamont, you got anything to add?
In this era, everything is about kids living in their truth. And being able to, find themselves. How important is it even now to be able to show positive images or having kids see themselves? How, if you live in your truth, does that really matter anymore?
So here's what's a non-truth, right, Lamont? I got a tag on Instagram where a little girl who was 4 years old went to school and the little kids called her poop because of the color of her skin. 4 years old, tagged me. And then she came home and she was like, Mommy, I don't want to go back to school until I'm white. Right? So when we talk about truth, there is a lot of untruths that are happening in our society. And that's essentially where Princess Zara comes in. I think it's important for our white, Hispanic, Asian kids to see Black people as royalty, just like they see all the rest, right? And that we're just as cool. We're to be respected. Like, I just don't understand why racism is a thing, especially when there's so many different shades. We're all mixed up. We come from different places. We all bleed blood. We all could get COVID, so it's just like, so many things are irrespective of where you were born and the shade of your skin. So it still doesn't sit right with me. And, studies show, which is crazy, that racism starts as early as 3 years old. So for me, this is to really help our people come up. Like we need to be raised up in our society. Unfortunately, still in this year right now that we're in, we still have to talk about this. And it all being sparked from George Floyd, which was just like, again, every couple decades we have some crazy thing that happens. People say, oh yeah, that's right, we should treat Black people right. Like what is this? So so in terms of the truth, I am definitely cautious on which truth to be portraying, but the truth that I'm living in is that our Black children need to be treated well, period.
So the reason why I asked is because there's a large segment of parents who are raising their kids to be colorblind, so-called colorblind.
Yeah.
So
but I got a color though.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to be colorblind. I want you to see me. I want you to see me. I'm a high yellow. Somebody call me a red bone. So I'm a color. You're a color. We all have color. The thing is to understand that we're different, but at the same time we're still the same, right? We still have to breathe. Like my daughter's best friend, she's half Mexican, half white. She shouldn't have to choose which side she is. That's the problem with our society. But which one are you? Are you Mexican or are you white? But then I'm both. And why is that a problem? So then why should I have an identity crisis as to who I am just because I have to choose? Like, why can't I just be both? And it just is what it is. Look at all these people having these tests, those ancestry tests, African ancestry. So now I know I'm all these different countries, right? So then what you gonna do? Put on a head wrap every different day for all the countries you represent? It's just like we are from many different places, and that's okay. So I'm not cool with the colorblind, Lamont. We see color. I see color and I honor your color, and it's cool. All right, what's for dinner? Right? It doesn't matter.
What is for dinner? Rice and peas. I want rice and peas. Every culture has a rice and a bean. They just call it something different. It's weird, and I love what you're doing. All right, so when is this book coming out, Coach Cass?
Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out on my birthday, March 20. But y'all could pre-order it now. Like, come on now. Let's get it going now. Okay. It actually comes out March 20, but officially is on pre-order. So you could get your steak. So you get the first ones.
And let me just say this for everyone listening. Coach Cass cornered me at a conference and, and I was like, okay, I have no bandwidth to help you do your project. I could barely keep up with the 99,000 things that I'm doing myself. And she didn't flinch. She did not cut me off. She didn't say, well, forget you then. She went and did it. She went on Fiverr, got the artist, got the thing, wrote the thing, put it together, did her book. I was like, she showed it. I was like, this is dope. Bring you on the show. Let's talk about it. Rinse and repeat. Second book. Everybody out there, you're looking for somebody to do something. And just because somebody has an affinity towards things or they have an experience doing things, the best thing you can do is to try it yourself. Because you build the muscle, and once you figure it out, you could do it. You have to look back, and I'm so incredibly proud, and I'm always going to be rocking with you because that to me speaks volumes about you as a person. That you were like, okay, she's not going to help me, I can help myself. So, talk to that.
Bless you. So, all right, so it really is the mission, right? So, Lamont, Joyelle, Karen. When I start to realize that I'm doing this for my child, then it's like a non-negotiable. So you see, I'm saying right now that I want it to be a mainstream cartoon. So I've pitched companies on my own. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm pitching people. I'm creating pitch decks. I'm meeting with folks, listen, we are going to make this stick. And so in the meantime, I'm just thinking of, well, what are the stories I think are important for our children to realize? So it's through my own stuff with my child. The first book is like, how do you be unselfish and give to others? How many of our kids need to learn that lesson, right? And then this one is really like, hey, the people closest to you should look up to versus these cartoons and these TV shows. Look, your mama and them are the ones that are helping to raise you, whether it's a pandemic or not, so show some respect to the people that are closest to you. The simple things, the simple lessons of how we spread love. So for me, Karen, I love you, but at the end of the day, we can't wait for somebody else. So if the person isn't getting back to you, then you figure out, well, what's the next route to get it done? And so that's really the journey that I've been on, bumping, bruising, crying, all praying, all the things, but, still making it happen.